Are you practicing all the right things but still struggling when it comes to creating cool bass lines and solos? I never would have been able to play the way I do today, sharing the stage with jazz greats here in New York City and around the world, if I had just stuck to the common, outdated advice about scales and arpeggios, especially arpeggios. And if you're just running your arpeggios 1, 3, 5, 7 up and down, you're really barely scratching the surface of what's possible. So in this video, I'm going to show you a hidden arpeggio workout that separates the pros from the amateurs, a system that'll help you unlock new bass lines, solos, and complete fretboard freedom faster than you thought possible. So most bassists tend to practice arpeggios in one way, and that's just up and down, 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7, then maybe up the octave, 1, 3, 5, 7, and then down. Fantastic. But today, I want to show you something that's more powerful, and that's how we can start to practice these in permutations. You're probably asking, what's the difference between a permutation and an inversion? Well, an inversion is when we start an arpeggio on a different chord tone, but we keep the order intact. Okay, so root position. If root position is 1, 3, 5, 7, our first inversion will start from the third, but we just continue up the order. So we have 3, 5, 7, 1. Second inversion is we start from the fifth, but we keep the order. So 5, 7, 1, 3. And then third inversion starting from the seventh, 7, 1, 3, 5. Okay. Still a fantastic way to practice your arpeggios. This is amazing for voice leading and coming up with cool bass lines, but they're still very linear and very predictable. Now, when we talk about permutations, we break that pattern completely. With permutations, instead of just shifting where we start, we completely rearrange the notes. So for example, instead of 1, 3, 5, 7, I could play 1, 3, 7, 5, or 1, 5, 3, 7, or 3, 1, 7, 5, and so forth. So for those of you who are math whizzes, you've probably already done this math in your head, but there are 24 possible ways to arrange the 4 notes of any 7th chord arpeggio. So here's the PDF with all the 24 possible inversions, and these can be applied to any 7th chord. And as you can see, this is really cool. It gives us all kinds of new possibilities. It's just automatically new shapes that we can use for bass lines and material to create new solo vocabulary, and it forces our fingers and our ears to explore new pathways. Download this below. Let's just take a few of these randomly and just explore them and see how they sound. Okay, so I'm gonna shy away from everything that starts with the root. Those are all really, really cool. But again, one of the coolest things about this approach is to try and move us away from just a root-focused approach, but absolutely practice the stuff that comes from the root as well. Let's grab this one right here. How about 3, 1, 7, 5? And let's think about a chord. Okay, so let's take a D7 chord, D dominant 7th chord. Okay, if that's our sound, and I'm thinking 3, 1, 7, 5, 3 is F sharp, D is our 1, right? 7, C, ooh, that's cool, and 5 is A. Already just a cool little idea, right? That's different. Right? I could take it up the octave. Already a great little idea block, all right? How can we practice this in a more systematic way? Well, if we continue down in this PDF, and again, this PDF is available below, I've got a few different ways that I recommend practicing this if you really want to take it to the next level. First, you're going to choose one of these, right? Choose one of these permutations from any column and take it through and choose a chord type. In this case, I chose dominant 7th and take it through the cycle. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with what I mean when I say the cycle, in jazz vernacular, when we talk about the cycle, we're talking about the cycle of fourths. So moving up in fourths. So in this case, taking this through the cycle, 5, 7, 1, 3, that sounds like this. And then choose another permutation. In this case, I chose 7-1-5-3 and a different chord, minor seventh, and I took this through the cycle again. This time, let's give it kind of a funk vibe. And then once you've done that, let's mix it up. So let's take a progression. You can take a tune, you can take a standard, you can take anything. Let's just take a blues here, right? And I just basically, for each 4 bars, designated one permutation for each of these 4 bars for all the chord types. Okay, so for the first 4 bars, we're going to go with 3-7-1-5 across all the chord types. For the second 4 bars, we're going to go 5-1-7-3. And for the last 4 bars, we'll do 7-3-5-1. So as you can see, this arpeggio workout is one of the biggest game changers you can add to your practice. By working through these permutations systematically in this way, you're going to develop more creative and fluid bass lines and solos, new vocabulary, deeper connection to the fretboard, and also just a better ability to instantly react in a live setting when you hear a chord or see a chord symbol. So what I want you to do is pick up your bass and go through this process. Download the PDF, explore, just choose one of these permutations, then take it through the cycle as I showed you, and then apply it to a tune. And comment below. Let me know how that goes for you. Also, just let me know what you think about this approach. And if you want to learn more about how simple materials can supercharge your knowledge of the fretboard as well as your ear, click here.